guys, Shark Match today in Clash Royale. Welcome to the video, guys. How you all doing? Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. I know that I did. I just mentioned this on my other channel as well, but trying to teach the kiddo how to ride a bicycle without training wheels. I feel like we're falling behind a little bit, but practice makes perfect. So that was my big mission this weekend. Still, I would say a work in progress. Other than that, though, we've been busting out like the old kind of maps from old video games and trying to like copy them. I don't know about you guys, but remember when you were like a little kid? Like, fun little creative projects were so unbelievably exciting, at least for me. I used to make mazes. That was my thing growing up. Like, I would just sit there and make hundreds of mazes, and I loved it. What is it that when we get old, it changes, man? Like, those little things, they lose their appeal for whatever reason. I don't like it, but I'm loving living vicariously through my son in some of those waves, rehashing some of those old nostalgic creative moments that I grew up with. Anyway, guys, we have another update for you. Man, on my last video here on the channel, I called myself a little bit of a Clash Royale drama alert because I was talking about everything going on in the community. So we have a little bit more of that today, and we have the updated balance changes. A lot of you guys said, dude, we don't need the decks, man. We don't need the decks anymore. Everything's mega draft. We don't need that. We want more of this stuff. So maybe I will do more of this stuff. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, guys, it's a little Clash Royale talk show here on the channel. So this, addressing all the issues around the update, basically around Pass Royale 2.0. We talked about them quite a bit in the last few videos. We saw this message a couple days ago now. Was traveling this weekend, but you guys can, well, I was traveling the first part of this weekend. Bicycle riding the second part Sunday. So we can go ahead and watch this together. Basically, it's just the two community managers, Max and Drew, talking about the negativity surrounding this update.
Hey everyone, I'm Max, I'm with Drew. Just a quick message to let you know that we're seeing your feedback and we know that the update has not been received positively.
Yeah, we are aware, and we just wanted to let you know that changes do take time to implement, and we can't really say like if or when these changes will be happening, but we did just want to let you know that we're not ignoring you. We appreciate your feedback. We've heard it. And yeah.
Yeah, discussions are on the way. And as soon as we have something to share with you, we will. So thank you.
All right. So, well, a quick message to our players. We hear you that you hate the update. Discussions are on the way. I mean, listen. Part of me applauds them for actually communicating out there, and, you know, a few people trolled me over it. Well, quite a lot of people trolled me about it, and I can see why, but, you know, I basically said the communication acknowledgement means a lot, guys. Looking forward to what you come up with. We saw a few other people who had been critical as well, kind of thanking them for the communication, but honestly, maybe I'm setting a very low bar here. It's not about like sucking up at this point. I don't think that all the sucking up in the world can make up for all my drama alert videos on the state of the game the last week. But I think for me is at least acknowledging how unpopular this update is, especially if we consider with everything that they've ever done. I said in one of my previous videos that I think that Clash Royale was probably the least popular thing they've ever done in the game. But this is really close, guys. This is really close. I don't even mean to be, I shouldn't be smiling right now. It's a serious thing. So that's what we know about that. They've heard us, and changes are on the way. Speaking of changes, we have the final, or I shouldn't say changes are on the way, excuse me. The discussions are on the way about possible changes to address all the negative feedback. It's funny, I looked at this, right? The balance changes. We shared the work in progress balance changes about 5 videos ago. Today, we're going to give you the final version. They went in and they changed actually a bunch of these balance changes based on the early community feedback. And I think a lot of them were actually a lot of the comments that you guys were making as well. I'm not saying they balanced based on my YouTube comments. I'm saying that obviously there were a lot of voices kind of banging the same drums here. I want to get your thoughts on the final update or the final balance changes. But first, you can see people are still, look at this Nerf Miner. This dude wrote Nerf Miner in the snow, man. They finally listened. They finally listened. I think your post sucks. You nerfed the game, says Louise. Please don't tell B-Rad about this. Are you serious right now? Try the hog after 7 years. Nerf that card, they're chanting. They killed an innocent, they're saying. The worst update ever. That's all, guys. The miner did not need a nerf. Bring back normal 2v2. It's over. Buff miner. Nerf the healthier game too. Sweet, how much more money did you micro pay today? You can see that the community sentiment, worst update ever. This is gonna be interesting. Nerfing not just the miner, and oh yeah, Phoenix for the 150th time. Man, people are very testy right now, I'm gonna say. Me, when I'm killing my own game competition, my opponent is Supercell. Okay. As you guys can see, a lot of people are not particularly feeling the game right now. I think I could go to Reddit and you'd see the exact same thing. People are very, very angry. All I would say to you guys about that is if this game ever gets to the point where it's affecting your you're negatively affecting your mental health, and I'm being totally real with you guys right now. If this game is making you rage over updates, over balance changes, over anything, I think it's a beautiful, beautiful time for a break. I sit here and I complain about a bunch of stuff in Clash Royale on my YouTube videos. I mean, that's what we did all last week on the YouTube channel. However, I gotta be real with you guys. When I shut off the computer, when I shut off my game, I don't care any of that negativity or any of that, I don't know, frustration into my day-to-day life. I don't at all. And if you are, I think you should probably take a break from the game. With all due respect, I'm not saying that like in any sort of, tongue-in-cheek or anything like that. Anyway, guys, let's talk about the balance changes. We got the archers, first hit going from 0.1 to 0.5 seconds, 80% slower on the first hit. I'm going to read what they say about these cards, but I will point out when something has changed. The archers, 80% slower on their first hit. That's the way that they had them a few days ago. Archers were very high under the spectrum with a 0.1 second first attack speed, similar to Valkyrie, allowing them to always get a shot off in most encounters. With this, well, you guys know what a nerf is, okay? Minor. Town Crower, bro. Crown Tower damage minus 17%. So this was hit points minus 7%. So they changed it to Town Crower? Wow, I keep saying this, man. Crown Tower damage minus 17%. Becomes less effective at doing chip damage on Crown Towers, but remains a solid mini tank and distraction. So what do you guys think about this? Obviously, the comments on Reddit, on Twitter, so far, not a big fan of this. Honestly, I'm not really a fan of I shouldn't say a fan. I'm not like raging about it, but I would rather not nerf the miner. I think that he's such a versatile card, such a widely used card, an OG legendary of the game. I think he's very powerful, but I don't think personally that he needed a nerf. I don't think the miner was like breaking the meta or substantially making the meta a negative experience in any regard personally. So I would not nerf him. With that said, though, I think they made the right change. I don't think his hit points was an issue at all. I think the Crown Tower damage was probably, he's kind of a mini tank. He's not supposed to be like a massive DPS, right? So I'm okay with that change, honestly. Golden Knight, dashing distance from 6 tiles to 5.5 tiles, minus 8%. The Golden Boy won't be able to hit targets with his ability until they're a little bit closer. Personally, on this one, again, I'm okay. I'm okay with it. Phoenix, another nerf to the Phoenix. Death damage minus 10%. Listen, guys, you can read it, but listen, I said this in my last balance change video. Heck, a lot of you guys disagree with me in the comments. A lot of you guys agree with me in the comments. I suspect it will be the same here. Just my opinion. I think they've gone hard enough on the Phoenix. I want him to still be freaking legendary, man. And I am biased because I do use the Phoenix in my main deck. But I don't think he needed the death damage nerf, personally. It isn't that dramatic of a nerf, just the death damage minus 10%. So I'm not like, crying myself to sleep about it, but I would have been fine with them not touching the Phoenix again. I think I'm in the minority with that opinion. So be it. Mega Minion, they changed this one. Hit speed 1.6 seconds to 1.5. That's 6% faster. They were giving him a 1.6 to a 1.3. So they really cut this buff by a third. Well, they cut it by 2/3. That's pretty dramatic, man. But I'm okay with it because I thought Mega Minion was going to be pretty busted after that nerf. I thought the Mega Minion's always been one of those cards that's actually pretty well balanced, personally. So I was surprised they chose to buff him. I'm okay now that they made the buff a lot, more minor, right? So again, 6% faster, a minor buff to the Mega Minion. There we go. I'm okay with that. Furnace, spawn speed 1 second faster, lifetime 5 seconds shorter, so the same amount of actual fire spirits, 7 total, but a faster spawn speed. I'm not saying that this card did not deserve the buff. I think it did deserve the buff because Furnace sucked in terms of win rates, use rates, all of the above. However, man, I'm just annoyed. I hate Furnace, dude. So selfishly, my bias again showing, I'm just copying to it right now. I'm not a big fan of this one, man. I just think a furnace is like to always have to respond to every fire spirit, or else it's doing like fireball damage to your tower. I don't like it, but it is what it is. I can't argue the card didn't need a little bit of a buff either. Spirit Goblins, the range from 5 to 5.5 tiles, that's to plus 10%. Spirit Goblins currently suffering from being completely outclassed by all of the ranged support units. This change allows them to outrank a few ranged troops in the same category. It will be reflected in the Goblin Hut, the Goblin Gang, and in the Goblin Giant spawns. Not the dudes in his backpack, but the spawns. So I'm okay with the Spirit Goblins getting the buff. I think that's cool. But again, I'm worried. I'm just going to be real. I'm worried about that Goblin Hut, man. Same reason on the Furnace. I don't want a spawner meta. No, thank you. Rascals, they changed. It was first hit speed, 0.8 to 0.5 on the Rascal Girls. I'm sorry, it was 0.2. So they basically cut it in half. Now it's 0.5, okay? So everything else remains the same in terms of the HP boy buff and the spacing now. There's going to be 1.9 tiles to 3 tiles on the spacing of these troops. The change preserves the archetype of tankier but lighter hitting than the knight on the boy, and harder hitting but squishier than the archers on the girl. The Rascal Boy, the hit points increase, sets him up as one of the best mini tanks in terms of hit points, now at the same level as Valkyrie, albeit with a much lower DPS. The Rascal Girls. This brings a Rascal Girl's first hit speed closer to other ranged troops in the game, and the spacing, the group is now slightly more spaced apart, but not excessively. A well-placed fireball can still catch all 3. They call this a rework, but to me, it's like, it's an obvious buff. There's no, the spacing improves, the Rascal Girl improves, and the Rascal Boy improves. So there we have it, guys. Honestly, these balance changes, I'm okay with them overall. I could be nitpicky again about several of these changes. Again, didn't think, primarily the Miner and the Phoenix, I just don't think they need to be touched personally. But what about you guys? What did they leave off? And are you happy with the adjustments that they made on the Miner, the Mega Minion, and the Rascal Girl? We'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. How you feeling, guys? How you feeling? Send us some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them today. Remember, it's only a video game. It's only a video game if you're raging right now. I will see you in the next video, guys. I'm not going anywhere. You're stuck with me here on the YouTube. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.